Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach, and I'm kind of celebrating today in a way because it's my birthday today. I'm recording this on my birthday, which I hit, yes, the big 50 today. And I don't really care if my age is known or not. It is what it is. Not a big deal to me. So 50 is the new 30, right? Yeah. Figured I'd do some work today along with my regular work today. And I'm going to work on this issue with InlineMapping, which I realized I put this in a milestone 2.0.0, which is not really, good. Okay. I didn't know, I was trying to find that before, and I was trying to, let's see, I've got 1.0. Okay. So I've got that. Oh, that's right. Okay. I was wondering, why couldn't I edit a milestone? That seems so weird. And then I forgot this morning I got either an email or a notification somewhere that GitHub basically reset all their authentication and logins. So you didn't have to change your password, but they basically logged everybody out of everything. And it was because of some authentication issue. So when I was looking at this morning, it took me a second to realize, oh, yeah, why can't I edit anything? Why can't I? And then I logged in, and then I got the dark look, which was good. But I was also getting confused before because I couldn't edit the milestone, because I really should make this 1.1.0. That's what it should be, not 2.0.0. Okay, good. That's much better, because I had just talked about this in a previous episode that Semver, if you increase the major number, that's the one that says you have a breaking change. And none of these should really be breaking changes if I do any of these. So I was like, I got to be able to change that number, and I can. So that's good. Okay. So we're going to come in here. Excuse me. I've got something in the throat, so to speak. We're going to make this 1.1. Yeah. And now what we're going to do is essentially add these map from and map to attributes. So, or I'm sorry, we already have map to. We want map from and then also just a map. And then I'm going to look for those and then have something that basically says, find all the maps and tell me what the sources and destinations end up being. I don't really care from the attribute itself, because it's just going to generate the extension method. So I have to find all the sources, all their types, and then all the destinations that it can be mapped to. Okay. So I also realized that, as I put down here in a comment, that you could potentially do this. You could have a map to, a map from, and a map where all three of these are the same. They're redundant. So I'm going to look at creating a diagnostic to say, hey, if I already found something that does this mapping, call it a warning, because it's not like I'm going to do the mapping more than once, and it's kind of unnecessary. So just tell people, hey, you may want to get rid of that. It's not, I thought of making it an error. It's not really an error. Maybe I'm being a nice guy today because it's my birthday. I'm not as draconian and putting the hammer down and saying, you should not do this, but it's really not going to break anything. It's just, you don't need it. It's you can get rid of it. So I'm going to probably make it a warning, telling people to remove it. Okay, so I got that. So we're going to come back in here, and we should also look at just doing all the, upgrade. I really need to get some GitHub actions in place and doing stuff, because I should not be doing all this by hand. You know what I mean? But we are. Update all the things, get everything. I was looking at NUnit there, and I had been working on something during the day job, building a prototype for somebody to take a look at. And I created a test project, and it wouldn't run the test. And I was like, I wasted an hour going, why is it running the tests? And then I actually finally realized, oh yeah, I forgot that package in the project, and you apparently need that. That's something that you need. I knew that. I had just completely forgotten about it. So yeah, that sucked. Okay, wait a minute. Why is there a beta here? Why is there a beta? Let me look and see. I really want to get away from beta stuff if I can. So we don't want that. We don't want that. Only if this one eventually comes through and is not a beta anymore. So anyway, that's okay for now. I'm not going to lose too much sleep over it. Let's get back over here. So we have a map to attribute here. Okay. And what we want is me to shut down and start up again, because I changed the color. I was doing a presentation the last time I did this. And when I changed the coloring back to dark from light mode, sometimes it does this where the colorization doesn't, like with variable names here and stuff like that, parameter names, it doesn't switch back correctly. So the only way to fix it is to, guess what? Shut down and start up again. Okay. So we will do that. And I'll have a little bit of coffee. It's getting colder by the second. I do like that on my birthdays. My older son shares my birthday. He's turning 16 today, or turning is whatever. And see how now it's a little bit easier to read. So as kids are, they always get cake for their birthday. So I get cake. My wife doesn't necessarily get cake because her birthday is just her birthday. And my younger son, for whatever reason, doesn't like cake, but we make brownies and then he's perfectly fine with that. I don't know how a kid does not like cake is beyond me, but that's my son. So I get cake tonight for dinner, which I am looking forward to. Okay. So we have the map to attribute. What we're also going to need is a map from attribute. Map from attribute, which is pretty much going to be like this, except we need to say map from, and we're also going to need to say that is source, and that is source, and that's that's that. Okay. And then we need just a map attribute, which is going to be kind of like this, except it's going to have a couple of other things. So we're going to have map attribute, and then we're also going to say type destination, and then we'll do my fun little destination. Oh, that's right. I don't have a destination. My son asked me, did you take off of work today? And I'm like, no. So why? You should. It's your birthday. You're 50 now. I'm like, yeah, I know, but that's okay. And then this goes to the assembly. All right. So we got those. That's good. And if I run all tests, nothing should break, because we're not doing anything with these attributes as of yet. But I'll just run the tests because, that wastes time and such as it is. I found this yesterday. I was looking through my backpack. My son he said he was looking for a USB hub, and he thought we had one somewhere, and I thought we did too. So I was looking through my backpack, and then I found, I'll see if I can get this up right on the camera. Hopefully that's showing up right. It's a pic from VS Live Austin from 2017, and I saw that and I started to get a tear in my eye, sort of, because I really miss the whole speaking, being in public, and VS Live was going to try. They had Austin on the. In fact, I wonder if I go here and I go vslive.com. They had like 3 dates listed for this year. And they still, so they're going to move it to next year. That's not surprising. I was really going to be shocked that they even tried to pull that off this year. The one for Microsoft is in August, but I don't think Microsoft's campus is going to be open for them to even do it, whether they want to or not. So this one in Orlando, I think, might be the first one that they actually are able to do and come back, because, Florida is just Florida and open for everything. I say that begrudgingly, but I'm hoping by November that enough people have been vaccinated, and even with that, I think they would still have some like restrictions. You still would have to wear a mask in like the sessions and stuff like that. But who knows? I'm hoping by that time, like I said, when a vaccine is ready for people to get, like the general public, the age that I'm in and stuff like that, I will be over that in a heartbeat. I will take it. Want to get that. So yeah. As I was running the test, I noticed I don't have, and I know this might be a little too much, but if you've been watching my channel by now, you should know that I like doing things too much. Okay. Come on. And then we want to say public static class map2 attribute. And then we want to have test. And then we say public static void create. Our attribute is equal to new map2 attribute. We're passing a type of map2 attribute tests because we really don't care. And then we say assert that attribute dot destination is equal to this. Okay. And some people may say, dear God, that is way too much for testing. But as I have said, if you have stuff in code, make sure you got tests around it. There's hardly any cost to me doing this other than just writing them. You know what I mean? So if I say that, and now this is source. No. I went a little bit too far there. There, okay. Then we want just map attribute tests. For a second, I heard something. I was like, what is that? And I'm like, oh yeah, somebody's doing some sawing outside. So let's say map attribute. Then we could say map from, because again, where these are coming from doesn't really matter. Map to attribute tests. Why not? That would be the source, and then the destination would be map2. And then, of course, assert multiple because we're doing more than one assertion. Pull that up. There we go. All right, so we got those tests into place. Okay. Now the next thing we need to do is look at the map2 receiver because we no longer can just look for map2 attribute. We have to look for map, okay? So we're going to put in a whole bunch more ORs. I wish there was like a method to say if you get the name of an attribute but without the attribute on it, because that's really what I want to do. Well, if I say here, whoops, like name of map2 attribute, that's fine. But then we replace name of, can you do it just attribute? Yeah, that's because that's like a system. Yeah. Name of attribute was string.empty. Like that. And then, no. Whoops. That's what I want to do up here. Okay. But down here, I just want to say name of map to attribute. Okay. All right. That feels more rightish. Okay. So now we're going to put in two more. Except we're going to say map from and map from, or map2, or just map. And then we don't need the last or there because any of these could be a candidate. Okay. So that takes care of that. And then we need to update our receiver tests because why? What am I doing here? Why am I here? Find candidates or attributes declared as map2. Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting that in this case, it doesn't have to be correct. It's just looking for that syntax. So that's fine. Okay, so sorry that I've done that before, and I forget that that is perfectly fine. Okay. I kind of wish it was like that. That looks cleaner. And why? Yeah, sometimes this is the good stuff, because that's why I look at my code sometimes and I'm like, why did I do that? In this case, it doesn't matter. Stop it, Jason. You're a moron. Okay. We're in map from attribute. We're going to be a little bit more clear now. Why would I say when attribute is declared as map to? When I want to say when attribute is declared as map from. Okay, that's what I want. Yes, good. Okay, and then when attribute is declared as map from attribute. So we're going to clean that up, except I really did not do that right. And then we're going to do that. And we want to say map from attribute here. Okay. And we have map to, but we're going to clean this up because we want it to look slightly nicer. And we're going to do the same thing here. And then we're going to listen to the person cutting the trees outside. And then we're going to pull that up, and we're going to move this over here and do that. And one more time with feeling. Okay. So we got all that. Good. Okay. Now we have map from, map to, and then we want just map. Now map is interesting because map is an assembly level. See, this is why you rate tests. Because, yeah. Good boy, Jason. This is why you eat your own dog food. This is why you write unit tests. Do I have to keep saying this over and over again? Because sometimes the idiot is you. And by you, I mean I am the idiot right now. This can only be declared at the assembly level, not on a... And that's another thing I just realized. Couldn't you say struct? Yes, you can. Why couldn't I say that? That should be allowed. That should be allowed. Okay, hold on. Okay, I needed to get back to Notepad here and get some notes going here. So map from and map to should also be allowed for structs. There's no, and I don't limit that from the receiver, but for some reason I'm limiting that. So I just want to make a note there. Okay, that's fine. The map to receiver tests don't matter in that I can put these on. Really need integration tests for this. Not really, we need. Okay. This doesn't matter whether it's in a class or source because I'm just looking for that. Okay. But now what I realize is I need to say, if I put an assembly attribute in, which I already have, and shared. So good. Okay. What does this look like in the syntax visualizer? That's the assembly target. Huh. Oh boy. I feel like that girl that was in the Olympics when she didn't get like the medal she wanted or something. She had that kind of proud look to her face. So yeah. Shoot. Well, what am I doing in the map to receiver? So if I get an attribute syntax, if I come back here, that is an attribute syntax. So I guess, I wonder if I should just make this look for, yeah. So, well, ain't that interesting? I can't just do type candidates. I have to do, It's always fun when you break things, isn't it? Because the assembly level attribute won't be on a type. So I can't list that as a candidate. I have to, Yeah, I can do this. I'm just trying to think of what's the right way to do this. If I have an attribute here, the attribute list that it should be a part of, because it's always part of an attribute list, right? Yeah. I could look and say, is there an attribute target specifier in it? And if there is, if it's the assembly queue, I guess, this isn't a map to receiver anymore. This is really a map. Well, hey, wait a minute. Well, you can only specify. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I went through 3 things in my head or something like that at once. I thought maybe I just keep these as the map to generator, a map from generator, and a map generator, and then handle all those 3 distinctly. But like I said in the issue, I want to make sure that if you're doing redundancy, that we catch that. So I do want to do these all as one thing. So what I really want here is a map receiver. Don't show again. Okay. I want a map generator. Okay. And I also want a map generator, and I want a map receiver. Okay. Right. Now, what I could do is I could create candidates like map from candidates, map to candidates, and map candidates. Because they're just candidates. Okay, so maybe that's the right thing to do. Yeah, I'm thinking that is. Okay, so we're going to call this map to candidates. And then we're going to have a map from candidates. Okay. And then we're going to have a public list of attribute syntax map candidates. Okay, which is equal to get, which is equal to a new. Now, does that work? Yes, it does. Less for the win. Love it. Okay. So we have that. And so then I want to have here. Okay, let's redo this. So the first thing I'm going to say here is if I have, we'll do the map froms first. Okay. So if I have a map from, that means I go to the map from candidates. Else. And this is just for the, if it's a type declaration. Okay, so now we're going to do the map to attributes. Okay. Okay, now we're going to say else if syntax node is attribute syntax. Attribute syntax. Sure. Okay. And then we're going to do this. So we're going to just say for the map. If the attribute syntax name or name is equal to map attribute or map attribute, then we're going to take the map candidates and we're going to add attribute syntax. Okay, so that is going to break stuff because now we have in the map generator. Did we break it? Well, no, because we now said you actually have to look at the what is currently there, the map to candidates. That's what we're currently doing, which is fine, but we're going to need a way to say, given the candidate, I'm sorry, given the receiver, give me all of the mappings. Give me all the source and destinations from. Okay, so this is slightly going to change. So this probably doesn't build, but that's okay. We're going to commit this because we're on a branch already. started adding all attributes. Things probably don't even build right now, but progress has been made. Okay, so I actually have a busy day today. I don't have time to keep doing all this, so I'm going to probably do one tomorrow morning. I tried to get up early today and do one, but that didn't happen. So I'm going to try to get one in tomorrow, or maybe I'll do one later today and continue on with this and do more work on getting all of this in. As I should have known, this always takes more time than I expect. In fact, I'm just looking at this now and going, oh yeah, if I do all the mapping information, this is a to and a from, and who really cares? This is all going to just be one, generate, well, for the source to all the things that they can generate to. But actually, no, it's source to generate, so never mind. Okay, I will make more progress on this, but as I was just saying, I should learn. Nothing's ever simple, and these things always take time, but that's what makes more content. All right, so thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.